What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with the overall market, what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, and the QQQ very quickly. I'm going to break down what the news is saying about Tesla. Before I break anything down, though, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. This offer ends in just about 11 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the markets. So my video today is going to be a little bit later than usual because I recorded this video earlier and then it ended up just not being able to download, so I had to completely restart. So I'm re-recording this video from scratch, and I'm doing this a little bit later than usual, which is why this video is going to be kind of late. And I'm sorry about that, guys, but things like this happen. Anyways, I'm going to try to be very quick, so I do apologize if I talk a little bit too fast. But now let's talk about what's happening with the markets. So looking at the markets, we had a couple of earnings. We have American Express and a few others, but they're not as significant this morning, which is why it's not going to really affect the market as much. But we just had American Express and a few others. For Friday, we have Harker and Mester giving some speeches alongside some oil data coming out later on. And then on top of all of this, we're seeing a 16-year high for the 10-year Treasury yield, crossing 5% temporarily. That's the highest we've seen since 2007, which is contributing to the market sell-off. The Fed announced that they may have to continue to raise rates if the economic data is still too high, if the economic data is showing lots of strength in the economy and there's too much consumer spending. And Powell said that inflation is still high, too high, and the Fed has to still take action. On top of all of this, the big bank layoffs have been going on. We're seeing between 2 and 5% cuts in the employee headcounts. That's about a 20,000 job cut in total, and that is still very important news for the banks. The world is still very cautious right now as we're still seeing the conflicts between Israel and Hamas perpetuating, and this is very important because many countries are getting involved. And that's pretty much it for now for news affecting the markets. For Tesla, they basically raised the prices of the Tesla Model X Plaid. That's for one of the models of it, which is good news. It was like a 5% increase. And Toyota and Lexus are joining the Tesla charging connector bandwagon. If you want to go that route, still good news for them. We're starting to see Tesla gaining more popularity, if anything, and this is going to give Tesla more revenue. So now let's break down how Tesla's looking. We are looking kind of weak, barely holding 216 as support, but many people are talking about how there's max pain at 430. The market could bounce. Yes, it's a possibility, but at the time I'm recording this, that's not really happening. So looking at Tesla, we're going to be watching 216. If we lose this, watch 215, then 212 as critical support. And we have very strong support at 212, which is where lots of buyers stepped in the past. Also below that, we have like 210 as support. Then we have 207 below that. So watch those levels very carefully. As of right now, Tesla's looking weak. If we're bullish, if we get some kind of intraday bounce, you want to see Tesla try to get above 220. If we break this, it has potential to push up to 222.5, then 225. How is it looking right now? So right now, when I'm recording this video, it looks very weak. It's selling off, making a new low, and it looks like 215 is on the table, maybe even 212. But don't forget, the market could bounce like intraday. It is still a possibility, but right now, I'm not going to make that call because the market is looking very weak and there's no sign of a bounce just yet, okay? So we're looking weak right now, but we're going to be watching these levels just to be safe. For SPY, I just wanted to call out that SPY is looking, it's just barely trying to hold 425. We have some decent support right here, but we could break this because we saw a new low come today, and SPY is still looking kind of weak. If we lose 425, watch it come down to 423.6. That's where we have the 200 EMA. So if you look at SPY's chart right here, you want to be looking at the daily 200 EMA, which is this red line right here. I know it's a little hard to see, guys. I apologize, but right here, you can see this 200 EMA. This is going to be very important for SPY if we lose 425. That's where we have this support all the way down here. So watch this red line, the 200 EMA at 423. All right. So if we lose that, then we have 422 and 420 potentially coming. But right now we're seeing SPY trying to hold 425. If you want to turn bullish, you want to see it get not just above 427, but you want to see it break this 428 resistance, which is where we had previous support, this green trend line. If we break this, then yes, I could see 430 to 431 in max pain being met. But we need to get above 428, and we need to get to 428, we have to break this resistance at 427. So we have quite a bit of resistance. The pre-market high has to break first, break 427, in the 428s, then 430 is going to come after that. But we have some tight resistance. We haven't done any, insane breakouts just yet. SPY is looking at kind of like it's barely holding 425, but it's still favoring the bears a bit more since we broke this low. So watch these levels and just know that the market's looking a bit weaker, and we will see what happens from there. For the QQQ, I just wanted to call out that we're going to be watching this 360 resistance. If we break this, watch 361.69 followed by 364 as resistance. If we break below 358, this thing's going to sink all the way down towards 357. If we lose that, 355 is coming. From a technical standpoint, we're just barely holding 358. We're seeing some buyers trying to defend, but it is still red in the pre-market. So we're going to be watching to see how it moves. From a technical standpoint, on the daily, we look bearish. The 4-hour also looks bearish, just like SPY and Tesla. So the odds do favor this thing eventually selling off more and retesting 357 and maybe even dropping lower as we do look a bit weaker. Tesla also looks weak on the 4-hour. Also on the daily, SPY also looks weak on the 4-hour and the daily, so there could be more downside, guys. I want to just warn you about that. Now for Nvda, I'm going to try to be fast. Nvda is also selling off right now. We're going to be watching this 416 support. We actually have it right here on Nvda. If Nvda loses it, there's also some support at 415 from what I found historically. But if we lose it, if we lose this 415, 416 area, we're going to be watching Nvidia potentially sell off towards about 410. That's going to be the next critical support for Nvidia. There's technically 412.5, but then 410 is where we have stronger support. And if we lose that, watch 407 to 409. Now, right now, we're seeing Nvidia trying to hold this 416 support, but we're going to be watching to see if it holds or not. We did break our low from the pre-market, so the previous low we made was broken. So there is a risk of more downside, but we need to see if 416 breaks. If we break 420, watch 422.5 on Nvidia. If we break that, watch 425. If we get above 425, that's going to be a very bullish case, and Nvidia could start pushing into the 430s. But as of right now, at the time I'm recording this, it is looking a little bit more stationary. It's just barely holding support. So let's see if this breaks 416 or not. We're looking a little weaker, so we will see. Finally, for not the QQQ, Aapl. Apple's going to be the last one to look at. Aapl just broke its low from yesterday, but it's looking like it's just barely trying to defend this 174.5 support. So we will see if this support zone holds or not. If we lose 174.5, watch 174 flat. And if we lose that, then like 173 to 172.61 are possibilities. If you want to watch resistance, watch 175.5. If we break this, watch 176.5. To turn bullish, you want to see Apple get above 176, and that could really, push this thing up higher. As of right now, it's just barely holding 174.5, and there's a risk of downside because it's been downtrending. Also, I wanted to add that on the 4-hour, Apple's looking more bearish on the daily PPO. Same thing on the daily, it's looking a bit more bearish so far. So there's a risk of more downside. But just to be safe, watch these levels. And with that said, I just want to thank you all so much for listening. All right, so anyways, that's it for the video. I'm so sorry this video is kind of late. A lot happened today, but I'm still here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again, and peace out.